Hello, this is the Bloks Destiny S-10V Sparrow set. First things first, I think somebody just made an honest mistake and switched the names between the S-31V and the S-10V, because this is the S-31V here that's actually been built based on its color scheme and its look and everything. The S-10V was the GameStop pre-order exclusive one with the red color scheme, so just a little mistake there, I think, and an innocent one. I make mistakes too, so no big deal. The thing is nice though. The Sparrow itself is such a nice build. Built the same way as the S-31V, the so-called S-31V set, with mostly just parts from the existing Bloks parts inventory, stuff that's really useful for making anything out of. They only brought in one new specialized mold for this thing as far as I can tell, and that's for these side pods, which themselves are still useful for building other things. They're just shapes and they can be attached in different ways actually. Right now they're attached on the sides, and I think they're done well. Comes with the little stand and a little kind of dark drab colored base piece, a little small piece of terrain there. The pegs on the back and the exhaust streamers coming out all looks good. Everything's printed, so a little bit of coloring on the side here, color up here. It might be a little bit difficult to see this, but it is a little bit bluish right down the center, like it should be. There's just a slight tinge of blue, which is ideal, and that's also a printed piece right there for the console. With the way that the base is set up, you can make this thing angle over to a side, and I recommend just rotating this however you need to maintain balance. You can actually get it to lean over pretty far, like so, yeah. So you can get it really into quite a turn, and then putting the figure on it, it goes something like that. You get some options for exactly how you can pose it up, but you see the feet are able to come back to the rests there, the pegs, and he actually holds on with the handle, and there's enough stability with the geometry of the base that you can still hold him in a nice angled pose like that. So he's actually in a bank, which makes it into an action pose, which is a lot more interesting than just having it in more of a static kind of configuration. I think that's pretty cool. You can also rotate this around if you wanted to do it like this to make it look like it's kind of climbing or coming down, you know, over an embankment or something, and kind of combine a little bit, depending upon exactly how you angle this, get a little bit of forward and back and also side to side rotation in it at the same time. Also, these figures have enough friction, tend to have enough friction in them, that you can do stunt poses with them, holding on with just one hand, which is really cool. And then you can do whatever you want with the legs and everything else from there. The Guardian figure here is a hunter, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's rocking polar oak for the shader, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But really metallic green. Gosh, such a high metallic, high sheen with the highlight color. And then for the weapon, it's a new Monarchy weapon, looks like an auto rifle, specifically the Vanquisher 8, the legendary auto rifle. Which is cool for me, especially because I actually used that exact weapon in year one back when I was running it. They have very different stats today, but it was a really good auto rifle in its day. Look at this cloak. Wow, that is nice. The print there has a really nice level of detail, and it's nice and crisp, and you can see through it a little bit. It's a little bit translucent. That's really good. The knife. Really nice knife, and that is a removable piece. Got the gut hook end on it, and it's just attached to the little armor or ammo clip on his leg there. This here around kind of sash-like thing is it's just kind of the top of the cloak, but that's just a silicone rubber piece, so it's flexible, so you can take that off easily if you want to. Let's just see the rest of the face, or the mask, which is very nicely detailed up in the mold itself. Well done. This armor piece is just added on, just clipped on to the arm. It's one of the super articulated figures, so you can make them do all kinds of stuff. I really like this ghost shell. Sorry about the focus there. A little kind of a sand green color, and then the green dot. got the green eye, which comes from the clip piece that's used on the back that's holding them on there. I think that looks really cool. In the last video, I think there was a couple of comments about the ghosts supposedly being on the other side. Well, there's plenty of cutscenes and things where they show up on this side. They can float around. You can put them wherever you want. Of course, you can turn them around. You can make them float in different ways. You can use longer pieces, other pieces. You can take the stand that's used on the shank, I'm going to show you in just a minute, and use that to actually extend that out. It's all standardized stuff that Mega Bloks has done, because they do reuse parts and they make their parts nice and configurable and reusable over time across different themes. This fallen captain is from the House of Winter, obviously. I think I may have misidentified the one in the last video, but this one's definitely Winter. And this one looks really good. Does not look as good as the one from the other Sparrow set to me, just because of the color scheme. This one also has a wash going over most of the parts to make it look a little dirty and worn and to bring out some of the details and the smaller bits. This is really nice, just how that the paint applications come all the way around the back of the head. It's completely unnecessary. They didn't need to do that. They could have, skimped, saved some money by not putting that on there, because it's an angle where you just don't see most of the time. But they put it on there, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. This looks really good. Still, once again, normal humanoid body underneath there, and there we go. See, there's just the neck piece. If you want to, actually, you can just do that. I don't particularly recommend it. It's a little bit loose in here for some reason, but yeah, you can do that. Almost looks a bit like a Predator that way, doesn't it? But this is nicely designed, and taking the cloak off lets you see a little bit more of the body itself, including what it looks like from the other side. See how that's shaped up, and you do get a couple of slots in the rubberized belt, so you can place the swords in there if you want to actually sheathe them up. And just randomly, I want to show you this pose as well, kind of when he tries to take a little bit of cover when you drop a grenade close to him. And then there's the shank. It's just a shank. Nothing special, not a particularly upgraded one, not a specialized model, not a large one or anything, just a shank in the Winter colors. It's a little bit metallic with the blue color used there. And if you get light coming in from the right angle, you can actually get light into kind of that light block that's used on the front. It's a transparent orange piece, and it lets you see, kind of lenses some light through it, lets you see kind of the eyes, the optical sensors on the front of the thing. It comes with a stand, and you can change the angles of the flaps just a little bit, but that's pretty much all there is to this one. The highlight of this set for me is definitely the Guardian figure. I think it looks really good, and for anybody who is particularly familiar with hunters, this is the one that you want to get between the two. I do think that the Sparrow here, the S-31V Sparrow design, is one of the more bland looking ones in game, although I did end up with one as the one that I ended up in year one upgrading with the colored exhaust streaks. So I actually invested quite a bit into it myself, but yeah, I think it looks kind of bland. And the Winter Fallen Captain here doesn't stand out as much to me with just the color scheme compared to the one in the other Sparrow set so far. But all of this stuff is still nice, high quality, good build, good realism, very collectible, very displayable. What they've done with the stands is so simple, but works so well. It's another really good set, and Mega Bloks just has a very high bar that they are holding on to now for these buildable sets and micro action figures. Let me know what you think about this set and how you think it compares to the other Sparrow set released in the first wave. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll talk to you again very soon.